Martin, how are you?
Hi Howard, nice to see you again.
I would like to find out how the 90 kilo rice challenge is doing in schools.
I think we sold over 50 challenges, which is definitely an increase in the last couple of years.
Most of the farmers who could not send their children to secondary schools are able to now because of this fair market. Thank you very much.
So Linda, how aware are your customers of the huge difference their purchases make to fair trade producers abroad?
Well, rainbow turtle has been trading for just over 20 years now. And most of our customers know what stands behind the word fair trade. The awareness is growing every year. I also noticed that when we were going to schools, even young children have more and more understanding of fair trade, what it means to people in Global South.
I love that idea of the virtuous circle where Paisley's involved in this connection with producers and farmers in developing countries, and it's this idea we get the products from them and they benefit us.
As you know, Colin, we are very proud at GTS of all the local employment we've given people in Paisley. And we've hired over about 19 different staff members. They're always job seekers. I think it's important to give staff in the UK a fair wage as well.
Hi Jaffed, how's the weather today in Rwanda?
The weather in Rwanda is very nice. How is our Kokaji coffee selling in Scotland?
Yeah, the coffee's going down really well. We're waiting on our next bag to arrive so we can put some more on the shelf.
With the fair price we get from you, we provide trainings on best agriculture practices so that our members are able to understand the issue of the climate change.
So, Nate, how did you get to roast Kokaji coffee from Rwanda?
I've never really worked with fair trade coffee before. This is the first one I've ever bought, and I was really pleased with the quality of the coffee, and the customers really like it, so for me it was great. In Paisley, we are proud to be part of Fair Trade Nation.
We have a special guest with us today, Maura Grenny, who's come to see what her project's all about.
I'm very excited to learn about what you've been doing on fair trade.
This is Rosine, and she's a fair trade farmer.
Why did you stop?
When she stops, she's needed a hand.
Don't enough money.
There's no school for children.
Fair trade make a fair price.
Fair trade takes away the barrier.
The fair trade pay them to pay school.
How does fair trade fit into the curriculum for your additional support needs students, Heidi?
It can be difficult because the curriculum can be fairly jam-packed, but if you look at the values that are involved in fair trade, you can add it into a lot of different areas, in citizenship, in recycle crafts. You can fit it in numeracy by doing surveys.
The next barrier is she doesn't know how to run her farm.
Fair trade croppers can teach her how to grow crops.
How important is the link between fair trade and the environment?
We need the bees and the butterflies to pollinate all the plants, the trees and the flowers.
How important is fair trade to you?
Fair trade is very important to me because I think that everybody should get an equal chance.
It gives them a chance to show their abilities, that they're the people giving help and not receiving help. And I think that's very important in terms of who they are and being a global citizen.
Thank you very much for all your amazing work on fair trade.
Buy fair trade stuff and look for the logo.
In Motherwell,
We are proud to live in a fair trade nation.
Hi, excuse me. Hi, my name is Emma and this is Poppy. We've been learning about fair trade in school. We wanted to know if you had any fair trade in stock.
Well, yes, we stock quite a lot, really. We've got coffee, drinking chocolate, all sorts of different teas. And we also have some fair trade wine, and we also do dried fruits, and we do molasses and sugars.
Here's a leaflet.
Well, thank you.
Good.
And have you like that?
Hello, my name is Rylan. We are updating the Fair Trade Directory from 5 years ago. Do you still stock fair trade products?
We have two products. We have our coffee and also our tea bags of fair trade.
Are you happy to promote fair trade goods?
We're definitely happy to promote them. We feel that people need to be paid a fair wage for a fair day's work.
Hiya, sorry to interrupt. We're making a map of Castle Douglas so both local people and tourists know where they can buy fair trade.
Oh, that's good, Liz, isn't it? Yeah, it's the updated version. So that's really helpful, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
We've been learning about fair trade linked to climate justice. We think it's fair that when people eat food, they know that the people who make it and grow it are being paid a fair price. Would you like to read about it?
Thank you. Oh, great. This sounds like a good idea. Well, I used to live in Kenya in Africa in the early 1980s. The local people where I was teaching, they were pulling up their coffee because they weren't getting enough money to feed their families. Later, they got more money for their products. So I think it's a great job what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
In Castle Douglas,
we are proud to live in a fair trade nation.
Nice to see you. And hi, Liz. Hi, Liz. So it's great. I've got two fair trade champions here, but I'm particularly pleased you're here, Willie, because you've been involved for over 17 years with fair trade in Perth and Kinross.
It all began really in Kinross, it's mainly through you and your contacts in the churches who have taken fair trade forward and raised the profile of it locally.
What sort of progress do you think you've seen over that time?
On the council, we have a ward champion for each of our 12 wards. So there's an individual councillor who is listening to the messages that are coming out and sharing them with the community so that everyone knows how they can get involved. And it also ensures that fair trade is running through so many of the decisions that the council is making all the time.
One of the ideas that we've had in the group is to see if we can get more fair trade products being used in school dinners. So I brought some things to show you today just of ideas, like rice and bananas is something that schools have all the time. So if we could make sure they're definitely fair trade, that would be great. And I brought some banana muffins I made. So I made these with fair trade bananas and fair trade sugar.
Well, hi, Richard.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Wow. These look absolutely amazing.
Karina, this is Councillor Richard Waters, who's the convener of our Climate Change and Sustainability Committee that we set up last year.
Nice to meet you, Richard.
These are lovely. I'm sure the pupils would love them.
I think it's over 10,000 meals a day are served over the 75 different sites in Perth and Kinross. If we can increase the amount of fairly traded products available in these schools, that would be fantastic.
I fully agree. It's absolutely imperative that fair trade products are the core to our school meal provision. Children fully understand the link between fair trade goods and our just transition to net zero. They understand that farmers given a fair price for their products, that will enable them to farm in an environmentally friendly manner.
And what about the new Council Climate Action website? Has that been helpful?
Yes, that's making a tremendous difference with links on how to take action, whether it's tackling energy, reducing use of plastic. There are links to fair trade events, and it means everyone can find out how they can make a difference by taking small steps, even if it's just buying fair trade chocolate, and everyone can help us towards a fair trade future.
In Perth and Kinross,
we're proud to live in a fair trade nation.
Hi guys, this is Anne and Lisa from the Alford Fair Trade Group. They're here to do some work with you today. So what have you been up to?
We've been working on the presentation about the fashion show that we did.
The fashion show was brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
Lovely to be able to do something within the community. It's really well done.
We even managed to get our head teacher to model on the catwalk.
Oh, brilliant. I always think that's great.
And here's some pictures from the night.
Oh, that looks fun. I love the lighting.
How's the presentation coming on?
It's been going very well. We've been putting together some facts about the environment and the fast fashion, but of course the fast fashion isn't very good.
Which facts do you think might shock or surprise people?
In Bangladesh, the workers in the textile factories only get paid £2 a day.
People will be surprised at how much we throw away because of fast fashion.
I think a lot of people don't realise the difference between fast fashion and sustainable fashion, or know how beautiful a lot of the sustainable fashion is, and your fashion show really brought that to the forefront.
Yeah.
So, how were the orders after the fashion show?
We managed to sell over £600 worth of clothes. We'd like to see some of them.
Which items sold best at the fashion show?
We sold some shirts and we sold quite a few dresses as well.
And I even bought some of the trousers that I modelled.
Oh, those are lovely.
And we actually also sold quite a lot of accessories.
It's been great to see how enthusiastic and passionate the pupils are about fair trade.
Yeah, they've been working really hard to get the message out there about fashion and its effect on the planet.
So what is your vision for a fair trade future?
I think the vision is that we don't just buy cheap clothes. We buy the clothes, but we keep on wearing them. And also to pay a fair price to producers so they can make the clothes more environmentally friendly.
Why is fair trade fashion important to you?
Fair trade fashion just means that we can look amazing and feel amazing in the clothes that we're wearing.
Absolutely.
In Alford,
we're proud to live in a fair trade nation.